So this is part 3 of the GitHub and Visual Code with it, and I just want, before we depart with it, and like I said, some of the stuff that you're downloading with it, I'm going to ask you to download for our class with it. It's a great front-end tool that you develop a lot of design and coding with it as well. In my industry experience, there isn't a coder that does not like Visual Code with it. I think Microsoft, if anything, they have done this right with it. So I want to bring you back to the extension. What's the parts called extension in here with it? And I have some things that I have installed. I want to talk to you about the first thing you need to install with it as well. So please allow me to share with you on some of the things. These are not necessary, but for this course and for a lot of industry stuff that's using out there, I highly recommend you use the following to help you code with it as well. Like I said, some of the stuff changes all the time with it, and I tend to delete and add and all the stuff with it. That's no problem with it. But you do whatever you need to do with it. One of my favorite things I need to, of course, is I'm going to ask everybody to install is the LiveServer. So all the stuff that I'm telling you right now, if you could just come in and search, just type in the word LiveServer and install it. That's the first thing I need for you to install it, right? Is called the LiveServer. So if you haven't done that, just do LiveServer by Redwick. Great guy, met him, wonderful developer with us. Well, Redwick Day, install that. Mine says install already. Other stuff I need for you, so I want to talk to you right now with it. So let me see if I can pick some of the stuff and go from top. Let's just do from top to bottom. I like this right here. When I code, because I'm kind of color weak with it, I like to see pairs of parentheses and brackets that's colorized. As you can see, how I made my screen kind of dark is, after 6 or 7 hours, my eyes gets kind of fatigued. A white screen, that's just me with it, right? So I recommend, you gotta look at screens and have proper ergonomics, height, and all this stuff with it. So deprecated brackets with it. This helps tremendously with it. So I'll give you, for example. So if we look at this code right here, you see how it's color and how, if I click on the left curly brackets and the right curly brackets when I code that, you see how easy that becomes with it. So if I have things such as JavaScript that I'm using for it as well with it, so if I scroll down, let me show you down here, on some, especially the JavaScript with it, it just makes it really nice to see that you find the left and the right parentheses for the argument that you are writing for the function with it. That's all it is with it. It's more about a cosmetic and taking advantage of your IDE. It just helps you to avoid syntax errors, okay, with it. So that's one of them. The second one, I like icons. I like to go in and kind of and code icons with it and insert in some of the icons that I use here into some of the comments that I do with it. It just helps with it. Of course, I installed the Git extension pack with it. This came with it, so I installed this as well. I like the Git history with it. It always helps to track, compare. It helps the log to compare what is done when you branch out for it as well. The Git project manager is also a good project to use with it, that you can delegate a lot of the sections to people to use as well. The Git more, I really don't use this much with it, but but there's a lot of templates on here that I use in here as well. There's the Git Supercharge I also use with it, Superlens with it. It helps you to clean up a lot of the annotations and documentations in here as well. I like the Indent Indicator with this as well. So go back to the code, for example. What do I mean by that? So you see how the lines are indented in? If I want to write a function, let's say if I place this function right here, this function plus slides, if I tabbed in, you see how that has a line that connects to it? Each one of these lines in here, it helps you see three-dimensionally when you indent in. It gives you the white spaces with it. So when I write a for loop with it, there's the left and right curly brackets. you need all the help you can get with this as well. All right, so the more help you can help to indentation, white space readability, avoid syntax errors, so on and so on with it. All right, so it just helps you to code. Take advantage of some of the stuff with it. I need all the help I can get on this as well. So I talked to you about that. LiveServer, we talked to you about what's that about with it. You can open up a web browser down at the bottom of here, click on it, right click on the mouse, open the LiveServer with it, port, it'll go live, so and so on with it, right? Of course, we installed the LiveShare audio, and you know what that is earlier. You can talk to your colleagues on projects with it as well. The other one is the open GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, Visual Studio, all the stuff with it. Great stuff too. Like I said, some of the stuff I installed and I don't know too much about with it. Like I said, I might not use this. I might uninstall it with it, but one time or another I might have it. Prettier format is a great tool. So a great tool to use is you can make things a lot prettier with it as well. As we go through the code with it, you can make it prettier. It aligns it, dents it over with it. Again, it just helps the alignment of the page with it. Project Manager, I share with you and some of the stuff with it. So as we go through some of these, I love the Sublime with it. So if I was typing with it, you can go in, you can import in a lot of stuff, and you can actually type in code. So for example, in here, if I went into my layout here, and let's say down here in the body with it, and I decided to put in let's say a paragraph with it, right? And it actually, if I want to Lipsum something like that. So all of this that we're doing with it, as we take along with the course with it, I'm going to go through each one of these tools that we're going to use and how we're going to actually use some of these plug-in with it as well. So again, it's one of these things that I highly recommend it. There's great tools. These are free tools that developers have developed and use it all these times with it as well. So I like colorful, and I'm going to show you how to use some of these colorful stuff that you use with it as well. So a lot of these, if you read these instructions in here, they tell you how to use and highlighting with it as well. All right, that's it for me for this particular unit with it. A lot of this, if you had me for coding, I'm going to include this, some of these plugins as we develop the course with it as well. But there's hundreds of plugins that we can actually talk about in here as well. All right, until next time, let me know. Thank you. Bye-bye.